In a dense forest, an unusual quartet of friends made their home. They were a graceful deer, a clever crow, a diligent mole, and a steadfast tortoise. Every afternoon, they would gather under a shady banyan tree, sharing stories and laughter. One fateful day, the deer failed to appear at their usual meeting spot. Concerned, the mole, tortoise, and crow exchanged worried glances. The mole turned to the crow and said, "I think you should fly around and find out where the deer is." The crow nodded solemnly and took to the sky. It didn't take her long to locate the deer. Unfortunately, the deer was ensnared in a cruel hunter's net. "Friend deer, what happened?" the crow cried out. The deer sighed, his eyes filled with distress. "I am usually cautious with every step I take, but this net was cunningly concealed. Now I am trapped, and it won't be long before the hunter arrives." Determined to help, the crow assured the deer, "I'll fetch assistance." She flapped her wings and swiftly flew back to the banyan tree, where the mole and tortoise awaited her return. She recounted the dire situation to them. The mole, with determination in his tiny eyes, addressed the tortoise. "Friend tortoise, stay here. I'll accompany the crow and use my sharp teeth to cut through the net that ensnares our dear friend." The crow gently lifted the mole in her beak, and together they hurried to the spot where the deer struggled. The deer's eyes brightened with relief as he saw his friends approaching. The mole set to work, gnawing at the net. It was tough and laborious, but their combined efforts paid off. The deer was finally free. "Thank you, friend mole," the deer exclaimed, stepping out of the net. His gratitude echoed through the forest, a testament to the power of friendship and selflessness. And so, beneath the dappled sunlight, the four friends stood united: a deer, a crow, a mole, and a tortoise, bound not only by their shared adventure but by the unbreakable bonds of camaraderie. As the tortoise emerged from the bushes, his slow and deliberate steps carried him to the scene. The other three friends, deer, crow, and mole, had already sprung into action. The hunter, too, arrived, his eyes wide with surprise at the cut net. The deer, fueled by fear, sprinted away, his hoofs pounding the forest floor. The crow, wings beating frantically, soared into the sky, leaving the scene behind. The mole, true to his nature, burrowed into the earth, vanishing from sight. But the tortoise was not so fortunate. His plodding pace betrayed him. The hunter's gaze fell upon the slow-moving creature, the one that had escaped his trap. "I lost the deer," he muttered, "but this tortoise will make a fine soup." With deft hands, the hunter bound the tortoise with a sturdy rope. The tortoise's shell offered little resistance, and he found himself immobilized. Panic surged through him as he envisioned the bubbling cauldron and the scent of simmering broth. Meanwhile, the crow lamented, "Oh no, we've lost our friend." Despair hung heavy in the air, but the mole, ever resourceful, leaned in close and whispered a plan to the crow and the deer. Together, they watched as the hunter hoisted the captive tortoise onto his back and began the journey back to the village. The path led past a tranquil lake, its surface shimmering under the sun's warm gaze. And there, on the grassy bank, lay the body of a deer. The crow's eyes widened. "Look," she cried, pointing to the deer. "Our fallen friend." Indeed, the deer lay still, his antlers rising like silent sentinels. But perched atop those antlers was a crow, a different crow, this one with feathers as black as night. It pecked at the deer's vacant eyes, scavenging for sustenance. The hunter's fortune had taken an unexpected turn. "I lost one deer," he mused, "but it seems I've stumbled upon another." His grin widened. "And I don't even have to wield my blade." The mole exchanged a knowing glance with the crow. Their plan had worked. The tortoise's sacrifice had diverted the hunter's attention, allowing the deer to escape. The crow had played her part, and the mole had whispered secrets in the shadows. As the hunter continued on his way, the tortoise's fate remained uncertain. But deep within the forest, the three remaining friends shared a silent vow. They would reunite, outwit the hunter, and ensure that their tortoise friend tasted freedom once more. And so, the forest held its secrets, the tortoise's resilience, the crow's cunning, and the mole's unwavering loyalty, all woven into the tapestry of survival. The forest held its breath as the hunter's fortune shifted. "I lost one deer," he muttered, "but it seems I've stumbled upon another." His eyes gleamed with anticipation, for he believed he had found an easy prize. But fate had other plans. The tortoise, bound and helpless, watched as his friends sprang into action. Their loyalty knew no bounds. The crow's cry echoed through the trees, and the mole emerged from the underbrush, sharp teeth ready. The mole's nimble jaws sliced through the rope that ensnared the tortoise. With a grateful nod, the tortoise was free. "Friend tortoise, run!" cried the mole, urging him toward safety. Now, for a tortoise, speed was not his forte. Yet determination fueled his legs, and he moved faster than ever before. Straight to the nearby lake he shuffled, each step a testament to his unwavering spirit. Meanwhile, the hunter closed in on the deer. The crow, perched high in the branches, observed the unfolding drama. She saw the tortoise reach the water's edge, a sanctuary where the hunter's grasp could not reach. "Caw! Caw!" she called out, her wings beating urgently. The deer, sensing the signal, sprang to his feet. Muscles coiled, he dashed away, hooves pounding the earth. The hunter, momentarily bewildered, had no chance of catching him. And when the hunter turned back, he found the tortoise missing too. The lake had swallowed him whole, leaving only ripples on its surface. The tortoise had slipped away, a master of survival. The four friends reunited beneath the banyan tree. The tortoise's eyes sparkled with gratitude. Thank you, friends, for saving my life. The deer, still catching his breath, smiled. No thanks needed, he replied. As long as we help each other, we'll always be safe. And so, in the heart of the forest, their bond grew stronger. The crow, the mole, the deer, and the tortoise forever intertwined by courage, cunning, and the unbreakable thread of friendship. The end.